Story time. So whenever I was a child, and I lived in Florida, I'm more than certain around the Orlando area, if my memory serves correctly, because we weren't very far from Disney World and all that. I remember we had a tire swing in the backyard. We had a pit bull. I used to play this game on the computer where I used to freaking run the guy through these hallways, and there were bad guys or whatever monsters that would jump out, and kind of scared me a little bit. But I still played it. That, and I used to love Mime Sweep on the computer. I don't know if I was playing Tonka at the time yet, but that was another one of my favorites back then. Anyways, whenever I was a child, and I was staying with my mother in Florida, she had the neighbor, who was a bisexual man, molest me. And she did this to try to manipulate my sexuality at a young age, because some psychic had told her a premonition about me being the generational curse breaker and all this other shit. And she figured in her fucked up head that she could ensure that this prophecy would be fulfilled if she could turn me gay, because I most likely wouldn't have a kid at an early age and perpetuate the cycle of the generational curse of having children early on and, struggling to get by and establish the family and everything like that in life. So that's what she did. She tried to manipulate my sexuality at an early age. And just like most narcissists do, she used third parties to try to accomplish this. So our neighbor was babysitting me while she was sleeping in her bedroom. And he showed me BDSM pornographic material. I specifically remember a wall of females. Well, there were like 3 or 4 females chained to a wall, being, tortured in a sexual manner. And the guy asked me, does this turn you on, and all this other things. And he went as far as sticking his finger in my ass to try to determine whether or not I was straight or gay. Now, I remember whenever my mother woke up that she was freaking out, not over what had happened, but over the fact that he didn't wait until she was out of the home, and that it could be linked to her. And then she wanted to coach me on what to say to the police. She wanted me to tell the police that she was out at the store whenever it happened and not present in the home, sleeping in her bedroom. Now, I can't remember what I officially told the cops. Childhood trauma, you remember bits and pieces. But I do remember her coaching me. I do remember her reaction. I also remember whenever the police came, they used that video game with the hallways that I was playing, and they wanted me to explain to them, using the character in that game, where I was touched, and things of that nature. Now, I also know that, what was it? Probably around 2017, 2018, my youngest sister had made the decision that she was transgender. This was after me and my mother had already had our falling out. And I found it very suspicious at the time, even. And I was questioning a lot of those childhood memories on, what was factual and and whatnot. But whenever my middle sister, my middle sister, told me that our youngest sister was approached by one of our mom's friends and convinced that she was trans, it's basically where all my suspicions went out the window, and all my doubts about what had happened to me as a child went out the window. My mother not only tried to manipulate my sexuality at a young age, but whenever we had our falling out, in her psychotic attempt to replace the son from the premonition that this psychic told her whenever I was a wee fucking child, can remember a lot, she thought she was going to turn my youngest sister trans because that would replace the son from the psychic's premonition in her twisted, fucked up mind, I guess. And to accomplish this, it appears she repeated the same thing she did with me as a child and had a third party carry out her wishes on her behalf. Thankfully, my little sister's come to her senses, and she's no longer under the impression that she can change her gender or sex. It doesn't work that way. Our genders are set at birth. They're determined by science alone. And science says that you are either a male or a girl based off of your chromosomes as well as your bone structure. There's nothing else that can be said on that matter. Anybody who argues that is delusional and needs to seek mental help. But I'm saying all of this to shed some light on how members of the gay community have been coming for your kids ever since I was a child. And I'm 33 years old. And from what I've seen and from what I've been through and what it seems like my family's been through, they not only came from me, they came from my youngest sister too. Pretty fucked up shit if you ask me. Pretty fucked up shit. So now I'm dealing with a cult of homosexuals back up in Philadelphia, Jersey area. They've been triangulating me. Narcissistic triangulation tactics. I have them documented. It seems like a lot of it leads back to this Arthur Turret guy. I've already called the Alphabet Boys. Who knows how deep the corruption goes, though? Especially since I've already played what seems to be reminiscent of Hunger Games behind the scenes in this country and gone through intense psychological warfare where people were trying to MK Ultra me, as well as using the echo tech that the FBI has already declassified on me to try to drive me into psychosis. Little did they know I'm a lot sharper and a lot more strong-willed than they ever thought. So yeah, that didn't work. They've tried to slander me as schizophrenic. I have clocked all their movements as best as I can. And, yeah. I'm blowing the fucking whistle on this bullshit. Because if they came for the kids in my family, they're going to come for the kids in your family next. Because they got an agenda to try to homosexualize the world, it seems. It seems like that's what they fucking want to do. And I've got screenshots of them fucking talking about we're going to genocide your family and all this other shit too documented if I don't fall in line. Yeah, you've already poisoned me 4 times in the last 3 years, and I'm fucking still here. And, there's been a couple attempts that I've clocked on my life already. So, it's going to be what it is. Documenting this, going to upload it. We'll post it on the YouTube. Hopefully, gets shared around, people talk about it, the truth gets out, and we can save some fucking kids. Because, yeah, these fucking perverts are definitely coming for your fucking kids. In fact, let's be real, there's a very large portion of the gay community that specifically has fetishes for targeting straight men. That's predatory behavior. You're no better than a rapist or a pedophile if that's how you behave and that's how you conduct yourself and if that's how you want to maneuver in this life. And, yeah, something's got to change. Something's got to change, America, because we ain't heading somewhere pretty. I'll tell you that much. God bless. And God save this country.